I just needed an excuse for the huge box of natural deodorants I already have that do not work. Hi. Getting close. Because it's time. Welcome to Georgia Goes Primal. I am Georgia, and evidently I will be going primal. What does that mean? This is going to be the intro video to this idea I have been nursing for a year now. Basically, about 5 years ago, I did the Whole30 for the first time. It was pretty transformative experience. The Whole30, if you don't know it, is basically an elimination diet where you eat like totally paleo clean for 30 days. No sugar, no dairy, no grains of any kind, no legumes. Then you add things back in and see what you've learned about yourself. And I got a lot of good out of doing that. I learned a lot about my relationship with food in an actionable way that let me actually like change certain things about how I was relating to food and drink. I got a lot out of doing it. That's not really what this is about. This is really hard. There's no other person to like have this conversation with, so I'm just sort of talking. So I did the Whole30. I got a lot out of doing it. It continues to affect my relationship with food today because I had adopted these new guiding principles for my whole approach to food. The first major shift for me, like before I even started the Whole30, just like when I read the book, It Starts with Food, was getting that the digestive system is the outside of your body. So it is your body's contact with the outside world, and what your digestive system does is filter, hopefully, what it needs from what would be bad for it from the things you eat and drink. I learned that some of the things that I was eating was actually making it harder for my body to perform that filtering function that it needs. And then from there, like because I had brought in these other ideas about food, I started being like, wait, so what about my skin? Like, my skin is definitely on the outside of my body. I don't need a major shift in thinking to relate to my skin as something that, like, needs to filter my environment. That was the start of me noticing the other areas of my life where I was not yet in line with those same ideas. If I'm not eating this ketchup because of what is in it, why aren't I concerned about what's in my deodorant, what's in my toothpaste, my lotion, my dish soap, right? So then I start reading. I'm in this world of natural skincare and body care and home care. And natural, what does that even mean? Nothing, mostly. Certainly it's not a regulated term. Like if you are buying meat and it says that it's natural, like that's not anything. But in the world of skincare, you run into various definitions of what natural means and various levels of commitment to those definitions, including companies that have that reputation, like Burt's Bees and Tom's of Maine, that have, since their inception, been bought by larger companies that don't hold those ideals. And so you get these like green labels with like raffia or like, papyrus font that whose label doesn't back up the goods. And that is a lot to sort out because you're definitely being misled by what you could call greenwashing. And the natural skincare movement ought to be anti-consumerist at some basic level in this return to simplicity, return to traditional methods. There are people who will tell you that all you need is lemons and apple cider vinegar and baking soda, and that's you can clean your whole house and your whole body and you'll never be healthier than when you made those switches. That's not true. And, at the bottom of all of it is still capitalism, and these companies that are selling me safe, non-fluoridated toothpaste, they're still selling me toothpaste. What I want as a consumer is for the things I use to be effective. Most of all, like, I'm not trying to switch my deodorant and then become a smelly person. There are people for whom that's cool, and I am not one of those people. Like, call me prissy, but I'm not. I want the products I buy to be low impact for the world. I want them to be positive, have a corporate structure that supports its workers, and things that support the ideals that I purport to hold. I want to be consistent with myself, with my ideas about how the world should be. I want the things I buy to be safe to use on my body. This is the whole point of moving away from those conventional products, is that there are concerns about them. Is talcum powder safe? I heard you can get cervical cancer from that. Apparently aluminum is bad. Other people say that is overblown, and so what do the data actually say? What, has this been studied? What do we know? What's a sulfate? I'm not supposed to use okay, what's propylene glycol? We don't like mineral oil now? That seems so inert. I'm not supposed to. Okay, I believe you, but tell me. It's just fraught, man. There's just a lot to weigh. As soon as you start having this conversation about natural, it's a lot. And another thing that I have noticed in my reading in this world is a worrying commitment to ignorance, a worrying fear of science, a fear of hard to pronounce ingredient names. You start to encounter this superstition that natural is better, that natural is safe automatically, which poison ivy is natural, don't rub it on you. And taken to extremes, these basic fears of science and commitment to that ignorance has generated, measles is back. Essential oils are great, but there are limits. I get it. When I read a label, even for many of these natural brands, I don't know what a lot of these ingredients are and what they do. I find myself flashing back to organic chemistry in high school and just feeling super dumb. So we're going to have to tangle with that. We're going to have to tangle with our ignorance. We're going to have to learn stuff. We're going to have to read a lot. And that's all a lot to weigh. Wanting to be informed and effective and a good, responsible consumer is a lot of work. In the meantime, we just need to buy toothpaste. I appreciate that it's a process, but I am on that journey. That's what we're here to do. So it's a lot of information to sort out. It's a lot to track. And I have adopted this method as an avenue for me to do that. And hopefully for us to do it together. Who us is, I don't know. Because I am just in my kitchen on a Wednesday. I just needed a place to talk about this. That's the journey. That's the journey we're on. So welcome. Hi. We're doing this. I have a lot of ideas. We're gonna try stuff that you can buy. We're gonna DIY some things. I'm gonna be frequenting my local herbalist probably a lot. And yeah, I am Georgia. We're going Primal. I am. I hope that you'll come with me. And please stay tuned. We're gonna do it. We're having a good time. Awesome, great. So that went great, and I'm gonna see you next time on Georgia Goes Primal, which is the name I picked for my YouTube channel. I'm a YouTuber now. It's real. It's happening. Thank you. I'm really sweaty right now.